Hey love, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Magda, and this channel is a space where we talk about the things most people are too uncomfortable to bring to the surface, about desire, about connection, about what it actually means to feel truly, deeply seen by another human being. Today, we are going there. We are talking about intimacy deprivation, and I want to start by saying something important before we even get into it. If this topic is landing for you, that is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that you are human. It is a sign that you have needs, and that somewhere along the way, those needs went unmet. Today, I'm walking you through 5 behavioral and emotional signs that show up when a woman hasn't experienced real, quality intimacy in a long time. And I want to be clear about what I mean by intimacy. I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about that deep sense of being wanted, of being held, of being known by someone. Weeks without it, months without it, sometimes years. And the wild part? Most women don't even recognize these signs in themselves. They just feel a vague restlessness, a low hum of longing they can't quite name. By the end of this video, you will be able to name it. If that resonates, drop a heart in the comments before we even begin. And if you're not subscribed yet, please do. I post every week, and next week's video is one you genuinely do not want to miss. Let's begin. Sign number 1, your relationship with touch changes, and usually you don't notice it happening. Here's the science, and I promise it's fascinating. Your skin contains over 5 million sensory receptors. A significant number of those are wired directly into what are called your oxytocin and dopamine pathways, the neurochemical systems responsible for feeling safe, feeling desired, feeling connected. When those receptors go without meaningful touch for an extended period, something called skin hunger develops. It's a real, documented, physiological state, and it does not wait politely for permission. What does skin hunger look like from the inside? It might feel like a low, nameless restlessness, an urge to sit closer to people than you normally would. You find yourself lingering in hugs a half second longer than you used to. You notice a warmth spreading through your chest when someone puts a hand on your shoulder, and you realize, oh, I have been starving for this. From the outside, it looks like this. You begin to reach for small, socially acceptable forms of touch, not in a dramatic way, in a quiet way. You brush fingers across someone's wrist while handing them something. You let a hand rest on a forearm for just a beat too long. You find excuses to fix someone's collar or tuck a strand of hair behind their ear. And here's what I want you to hear very clearly. This is not weakness. This is not neediness. This is biology doing its job. Your nervous system is designed to seek co-regulation through physical contact. When that contact is absent, your body literally goes looking for it in the only ways that feel safe and socially acceptable. The invitation here isn't to judge yourself for any of this. The invitation is to notice it. Because awareness is always the first step to understanding what you actually need. Pause the video right now if you want to. Ask yourself, when did I last feel genuinely, warmly, lovingly touched by another person? Whatever that answer is, it's valid, and it's data. Sign number 2, you start seeking emotional validation in ways that feel unusually urgent. I want you to picture something. You're having a conversation with someone you trust, and out of nowhere you find yourself asking, do you think I'm too much sometimes? Be honest. Or am I being dramatic, or did I have every right to be upset? Or maybe, would you still respect me if I weren't so together all the time? These are not small talk questions. These are what I call emotional depth probes. Moments where something in you is reaching down into the water to see if there's a bottom. What is actually happening underneath them? When we go without real intimacy for a long time, the kind of intimacy where someone sees you, where they witness your full, complicated, beautiful humanity and choose to stay, a specific kind of emotional void forms. It's not about ego, it's not about being insecure. It is about a very fundamental human need, the need to feel emotionally safe enough to be real. Psychologists sometimes call this the need for felt security. It's the prerequisite for true vulnerability. And when it's been absent for a while, we start testing the ground before we put our full weight on it. We ask loaded questions to see how people respond. We share small vulnerabilities and watch faces for signs of judgment or rejection. We fish, not because we're manipulating anyone, but because we are scanning for safety. The problem is this can easily tip into a cycle. You seek reassurance, you get it briefly, the relief fades, you need it again. The signal was never really about the answer to the question. It was about the hunger beneath it. So what's the alternative? Awareness. When you notice yourself asking these emotionally charged questions with a particular urgency, I want you to get curious. What am I actually looking for right now? Is it reassurance? Is it proof of worth? Is it to feel seen? Because once you know what you're really hungry for, you can start to meet that need in a more direct, more nourishing way. Sign number 3. Your body is communicating what your mouth isn't, and it is not being subtle. The limbic system, the ancient primal part of your brain responsible for survival, bonding, and attraction, has no interest in your carefully constructed emotional armor. When it perceives the presence of someone, it registers as potential connection. It starts broadcasting. And most of us are completely unaware this is happening. You play with your hair more. You mirror someone's posture or body language almost perfectly, leaning when they lean, tilting when they tilt, without realizing you've done it. Your body orients towards certain people as if magnetized, even in a room full of people. Eye contact becomes charged in a way that feels almost too intense to hold. There's also what researchers call postural opening. You literally become more physically open, taking up more space, uncrossing your arms, leaning your torso forward. Your body is saying, I am available, I am interested, come closer. And then there's pupil dilation. This one is my favorite because it is completely involuntary. Your pupils physically expand when you are attracted to or deeply interested in what you are looking at. You cannot control it. It is your nervous system voting with its eyes. Now here's where I want to offer a reframe because I think it matters. A lot of messaging around body language frames these as signals or broadcasts, as if they are calculated moves. They are not. They are involuntary expressions of deep human longing. Your body leaning towards someone who makes you feel safe is not a strategy. It is yearning made physical. And that is extraordinarily human. That is beautiful. What I want for you is simply to be able to witness yourself in these moments with curiosity rather than judgment. When you notice that you're leaning in, that you're mirroring, that something in you is reaching, be kind about it. That is your nervous system trying to close a gap. Sign number 4, and this one is the one most people least expect to see on a list like this. You start stress testing the people around you. After a prolonged period without deep intimacy, without someone really knowing you, most of us construct what I call an emotional fortress. It's not something we do consciously. It's something our nervous system does to keep us safe. Because somewhere along the line, being open and being heard became associated experiences. So before we let someone pass those walls, before we allow ourselves to be seen again, something in us needs to answer a critical question. Can this person handle the real me? And the way we test for that answer is rarely graceful. You might share something unexpectedly vulnerable, a fear, a story from your past, an admission you don't usually make, and then watch that person's face like a hawk, searching for any flicker of discomfort or retreat. You might create a small conflict and observe how they respond. Do they get defensive? Do they shut down? Do they stay calm and present? You might say something deliberately challenging. I'm a lot to handle sometimes. Not because you believe it's true, but because you want to see what they do with it. What you're looking for, what every part of you is evaluating, is emotional steadiness. Can this person remain present in the face of my complexity? Are they a safe harbor, or will they disappear the moment things stop being convenient? Here is the crucial self-awareness piece. These tests, when they happen unconsciously, can become deeply self-sabotaging. They can push away exactly the people who could have given us what we needed. The more aware we become of this pattern, the more choice we have in how we show up. The question worth sitting with is, who in my life has proven themselves to be a steady presence? And am I allowing myself to actually lean into that safety? Attachment theory tells us that the antidote to anxious testing isn't to suppress the need for safety. It is to gradually, consciously build evidence that safety exists, one small, brave act of vulnerability at a time. That is how the fortress begins to have a door. Sign number 5, the strongest one, and the one that I think, if you're really honest with yourself, you might find most familiar. You begin to create situations that allow for closeness, with just enough plausible deniability to feel safe. Can you come help me hang this shelf? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm kind of scared to watch this alone. Would you come over? I found this restaurant I really want to try, but I don't want to go by myself. I want to say something gently but clearly. These invitations are never just about the shelf or the restaurant. They are about proximity. They are about creating a context for closeness that feels socially acceptable and low risk. A way of saying, I want you near me without the terrifying vulnerability of actually saying, I want you near me. And here's what makes this sign so revealing. It's not impulsive. It takes a certain amount of creative energy to manufacture these contexts. Something in you is working to close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. There is no shame in that. Let me say it again. There is no shame in that. The desire for closeness, real, physical, emotional, intimate closeness, is one of the most fundamental human drives. Wanting someone to be in your space, to sit on your couch, to share a bottle of wine by lamplight with you, that is not neediness, that is aliveness. What I want to invite you to do is to start noticing when you're doing this, when you're manufacturing reasons to be near someone, when you're giving yourself permission to want closeness only if it has a socially acceptable wrapper around it. Because the real work, the beautiful, brave, terrifying work, is learning to want openly. Learning to say, I would like to spend more time with you without needing a shelf to be fixed. And that level of direct, grounded desire, that is magnetic. That is power. So, 5 signs. Touch that reaches for something it can't quite name. Questions that are really requests to be seen. A body that broadcasts longing before the mind has given it permission. Tests that are really invitations for safety. An elaborately constructed closeness wrapped in practical excuses. Here's what I want you to take away from all of this. These are not signs that something is broken in you. They are signs that you are alive and you are craving what all living beings crave, real, safe, nourishing connection. The problem has never been the desire. The problem, when there is one, is that we've learned, often through very real experiences of pain or rejection, to dress that desire in disguise, to make it practical, to make it deniable, to shrink it down until it fits through a socially acceptable door. And the path forward isn't to stop wanting. It is to start wanting more honestly. It starts with awareness, which is why you're here. It continues with self-compassion, releasing any story you've carried about your needs being too much. And then, when you're ready, it becomes about taking the small, brave steps toward actually asking for what you need. From the right people, in the right contexts, with the confidence that your desire for intimacy is not a flaw, it is one of the most profoundly human things about you. If this video touched something real in you, I would love to hear about it in the comments. Tell me which of these 5 signs felt the most like you. Which one made you pause and think, yes, that is it, that is exactly what I've been doing. And if you know someone who would benefit from hearing this, share this with her. Sometimes the most loving thing we can do is send someone a video that says, I see you, and you are not alone. If you're not already subscribed, please hit that button now. Every week, I bring you content like this, grounded in real psychology, delivered with real warmth. And next week, we are going even deeper. We're talking about the emotional patterns that keep intelligent, capable women in cycles of unavailable love and what the research actually says about how to break them. You don't want to miss it. Until then, be gentle with yourself. Your desires are not a problem to be solved. They are a compass pointing toward the life you actually want to live. I'll see you next week.